Okay, good. We are at Discovering Brockton Windshield Survey. I think some folks here were as thrown as I was by the sort of detour. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this moving truck. We are at Ikea, and Ikea in Canton, town of Canton, just north of Avon, just north of Brockton. And nobody is letting this poor fellow go. I'm going to go block them, I guess. Down into that wooded area, I don't know how well we'll capture that, but there was a pond I noticed on a topographic map long before this Ikea was built, and I was kind of curious whether it was still there. Not curious enough apparently to come find out, but there is a small catchment there, and when they built this Ikea they had to re-engineer that. But of course on the right is Ikea itself, famous furniture store, and I remember when this opened, a lot of my co-workers were so excited. They came here for opening day, which is the last thing I would want. I've only been in this Ikea twice. Once I came to buy a lamp, and it took me so long and was so complicated for my poor mind that I wasn't going to go back, but I had a student who worked at Ikea in the coffee shop. He had been one of my coffee students. I'll tell you more about that later. So I went to just see him in the shop, and when I got there, they were having a plumbing emergency, and the whole place was closed, especially the cafe, so I hadn't been back. That Ikea is so big, or the traffic for Ikea is such a big traffic. It has such a big catchment, like a retail catchment where people come from to go to a store, that Ikea, this Ikea opened, and it was a huge draw for the whole Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island area. And when they opened the Ikea in Connecticut on Route 95, which is about halfway to New York City, the traffic at this Ikea dropped in half. People were coming from all over New England to this place. That is not in Avon, but this is. We just crossed the line without seeing it between Avon and Canton. So we're in Costco. Costco was a big part of our life when we first moved to Bridgewater. We had an evil vice president at the college at the time who lowered my pay by about 30%, even though I had a brand new baby. Long story, we weren't sure we would be able to stay in Bridgewater, but one of my friends told me about the glories of Costco. So we could buy food in bulk, diapers for the kid, all of that great stuff. And Costco really kept flesh and bone together for us for our first 5 or 10 years at Bridgewater. And it's, you know, that's a big, a big warehouse store. We're also going to pass by in this shopping area. This is all a shopping development area in the town of Avon that includes these two big generator stores, Ikea, which came late. Costco was already here when I moved to the area, and also here on the left, Jordan's Furniture. And Jordan's, a lot of my students in the past have worked there. Maybe you have family members there, I don't know, but Jordan's is the only place we buy furniture now. Their service is, and I get no percentage, but their service is just so good. It's high quality furniture, and I really like doing good business with a business that's operated ethically and treats its customers and its employees well. And I'll tell you some more later. Well, somebody asked me at the end of this session, like, what is the deal with Jordan's? Why is he so happy about Jordan's and its employees? It's kind of a cool story. But here, and this is Stockwell Drive in Avon, and this is where a lot of big box stores are. Now, I'm not a huge big box store fan, but if I am coming to one, I like these here. We're now going back down Stockwell Drive, and one thing I assumed about Avon, I think it's
Jordan's is also like an attraction. Oh, they have like,
yes, go ahead.
They have like, I think year round they have some things, but especially around the holidays they have these like a holiday, like they have like an IMAX with like a ride in it, and like a holiday like village display, and like people get really excited about.
Yes. We've taken Harvey there with my parents, who don't even live in this area. We've gone there in the winter time. especially, and all the Jordans have that. Over here on the right is another little strip mall, and there is now a New Balance store where there was a Boston Baby that was kind of a big company in this area with a lot of baby furniture and baby supplies. And, Harvey was born about 2 weeks before I started at Bridgewater, so we had a lot of need for baby supplies when we moved here, and we were keeping them in business apparently. But so this whole little, and there's Christmas tree shops, which is just full of imported
junk,
sweatshop junk from South China, probably now from the rest of the world. I thought that all of this business would be keeping the taxes low in Avon. It's the smallest of the 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts in land area, and one of the smaller ones in population, and it has all this retail, so I assume taxes here will be low. A friend of mine who lives here says taxes here are actually quite high, and I have to ask him to remind me how that can be. He's explained it to me.
I was also noticing on our way in that, like, I haven't been to this area since I was maybe in high school, probably middle school, but like most of the stores are still around from like when I was like a child, so like most businesses over here have been successful apparently for like 2 decades.
Good. And I was going to show you here the Mary Baker Eddy house on Google Maps. It would have been before this intersection, but I'm not seeing it. And we need to turn here to go into Brockton. I have to check my map later. Mary Baker Eddy is one of the Boston area's most famous historic figures. She began the Church of Christian Science, and that's a big compound in the center of Boston, is that church's facilities, newspaper, and all kinds of things in a giant glass globe, which of course she knew nothing about, but she was born here in Avon. So now we're turning down, I think we're on Central Street, heading southeast. We have been on the north of Brockton. Now we're going to be heading into Brockton on Central Street. This is not a way I normally go in. I'll use that term I've used before, leafy. A lot of nice houses here in the town of Avon, and we're going to be driving into a corner of Brockton that is where I got started. One of the first places I learned about in Brockton, and I've already mentioned in the class. We're going to be heading there. On our way in, let's see if we can find the town sign. I don't know if there is one on this street, but we'll be looking for a town sign. We're now running parallel to Route 24. One of the hints I sometimes find as you're passing through a town is you might see a change in the pavement. Even if you don't see a road sign, the pavement might change color because it's paved by the locality in a different times, different material. Not seeing that yet, so I'm not even sure if we've entered the city yet. I don't think that we have. So this is nice. These houses are all very convenient to Route 24. So I imagine if any of you are looking in this area, have looked in this area on Zillow, you might find some kind of high prices. Some of these side streets to the left it says like Old Central Street. Some of these are dead ends because when Route 24 was put in, these streets would have been terminated at that edge. This, of course, all looked closer together on Google Maps, but nice open area here, nice open feel, and we are soon going. I know we're going to be in Brockton soon when we turn here onto South Street, which is coming up shortly. There's a cute little dog. And I overshot South Street. Oops.
Looking at the dog.
I got too carried away with the dog. I'm going to turn around here in front of this kind of cool looking space.
Yeah.
We are still in the town of Avon, according to the
trash can.
Trash cans, yeah. So this is all town of Avon.
South Street.
South Street. So now we're going under Route 24. Route 24, I think I mentioned this before, serves as an interstate, but it's not engineered as an interstate, so it's kind of a dangerous road. We've passed under it. And similarly here, some of these streets dead end on this side because 24 was in their way. And oh, I just realized we're not going to see a transition to Brockton yet because the place I'm going to show you first is, I know is still in the town of Avon. I forgot. So now we're still in Avon, still see those trash cans. Coming down the hill, you see some water over there. Isn't that pretty? And this straight, long feature along the edge of that pond is a dam. So that pond is actually held back by this, there's a stone wall here, and then there's an earthen slope that goes up about 15 or 20 feet, and beyond that is the lake we just saw. That is a dam.
Is that?
Probably 1930s. They're judging by that pump house. That's a house to pump, it has a pump in it to pump water from the lake as a water supply. We have a one-way street here, but we're going to go catch another one-way street shortly. I was forgetting about the one-way thing, but I think we can catch it.
A public school?
Oh, I didn't notice the school. I'll have to look that up.
It was an elementary school. It looked really small and had a really, like, artsy sign.
Okay, and
but it looked like it was a public
Professor
school.
James is messed up. I don't know how to get where I'm going from here. This is a dead end, so I'm going to
Should I pause the video?
pause the video, and we're going to do a part. Ooh. Cool little Batman mobile. Never crashed one of those. I've seen the results. It is not pretty. So I just did a little quick U-turn on Leo's lane, and we're back on South Street, and I realized where the other half of the one-way was that I missed. And here is the Butler, Ralph T. Butler Elementary. I've been to a lot of elementary and middle schools in this region, but clearly not all of them. I've never even heard of that one, but it's in the town of Avon, and I think it is a public school. Whoever's working on Avon, maybe have a look at that. We're going to pass the one-way going north. We'll have another view of this reservoir, maybe, from this angle. It's kind of hard to catch a view of the, yeah, that's kind of out of it. But this is called the Brockton Reservoir, even though we're in the town of Avon.
Look on the map what it looks like.
There's our GPS, and we're going to cross this waterway.
Oh, there's like, didn't record that when we're driving on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
And we're going to turn left here. And I know where we will see the town line sign is actually inside this park. This is DW Field Park. And this was sort of my introduction to the city of Brockton. I mentioned before that public event I was asked to come speak was actually here in the association that was helping out DW Field Park, and there is a lot to say here. I'll probably do another session where I just come out and record. I also have some drone footage that I'll be sharing with you that I found online for this park, so we'll see it from some other vantage points. But you can see now we're almost 6 o'clock on a Wednesday evening, and we're seeing quite a lot of pedestrians and bicyclists here in this area, and this is a very popular place.
Oh,
They're
look at
feeding
birds.
birds.
So many.
Canada geese, one of the biggest,
Swans.
and swans
And ducks.
and ducks.
All together.
All together, and one of the biggest concerns that people who manage this park have is those geese, because geese poop. And they create quite a problem for this lake, a problem called eutrophication, which we will talk about. A little bit of physical geography, biology to explain that. Here's the town line between Avon and Brockton. So now we're back in the city of Brockton. The town line runs right through this park, right through the middle of that lake. And I think what we'll do is just drive, let you see that this is an active public space. This is great. This is like the Central Park of Brockton, except for it's on the north side of the city. Like I said, adjacent, as you've seen, adjacent to Avon, near Westgate Shopping Mall. I don't think we're going to pull out as far as that, but I do hope to, yeah, we'll drive down and see, hey, people wearing masks, they're paying attention. Brockton is a place with one of the highest COVID case loads in the state, and so I'm glad to see people masking here. Here's what a spillway looks like. This is to protect from overflow, to make sure that this doesn't, the lake can't get any higher than that structure. I'm a bit of a lake nerd. I did my master's degree on lakes, artificial lakes, so don't get me started. Wow, I have never seen so many people out here. This is great. A lot of people. And I think this person has headphones, which has me kind of concerned. I don't think she knows I'm right in the middle next of the road. To her. Please, please, thank you. But yeah, this is great for me as a geographer, just seeing public spaces being used. I think a lot of people think that masking is not necessary, but it is. So I've seen a mixed result on that front here. Pretty sure this is all still one way. I haven't seen any cars coming toward us, so people are all staying to the left and the cars are all staying to the right. And yeah, see, oh, there's the Batmobile going up through the woods. You missed it, but so this is where it becomes two-way again. There's another section of the lake, and like I said, we're gonna have a great view of this from some drone footage I found online.
There's the museum.
And oh right, it's on the other side of the lake is Brockton's Fuller Craft Museum, and I think I'll come back later and show you some stuff from there. But I think that concludes our nice
big swans.
Big swans, love swans. So I think we will end there.
Okay.